All right, so I'm already recording. I didn't plan to do this right now, this video, but I have to keep up. It's been a couple of weeks, and I've been dealing with my own problems, my own situations, which everybody got. That's understandable. But now, I want to talk about the control of the narrative. This is what's going on right now. They're controlling the narrative. Um, You see, the problem is that perception, we're like antennas. We suck in everything. A radio it has an antenna and it has a frequency which it takes in, it receives, it receives. We're also antennas. We receive, and everything we receive, we process it on a subconscious level. And consciously, we act upon it and we don't give it the subconscious meaning where it comes to, I'll explain right now. Here it goes. Look, for example, right now, you have riots going on all over the place. Riots. Why? People do not understand the operations that are being done um, outside of their knowledge, outside of their view. See, remember, you only see what they want you to see. These people who give you the news are actors. They come out, they read a script, and you can switch the channel because it might diverge just a bit, but the narrative is their narrative. Yeah, somebody got killed, but this is what happened. They don't give you exactly the truth. Now, think about it. Floyd seemed like a very good man. Um, keep it real. He worked in a strip club. Rest in peace. He should have not died, but the officer who killed him, or the guy, I won't even call him an officer because he's not an officer anymore. But they worked together for 17 years. They worked in a strip club. The officer worked outside, doing the security outside, while Floyd worked inside as security. Where's that narrative in the news? They don't tell you those things. That these two guys, they knew each other. There's something bigger going on here. And reality is stranger than fiction. And then that's my focus my whole life. Once I realized that reality is stranger than fiction, and I started putting my mindset, not just believing, taking everything in, and no. What I did was put my own perceptions to the side, read the information, process it, investigate on it, come to my own conclusions. That's very important. People are not doing that. And we are moving in a progressive age where we're supposed to be getting smarter, but we've been dumbed down. That's a whole different subject. There's so many subjects that I can go on for days, months talking about because I've been doing this my whole life. This is my passion. This is my passion is to be able to deceive information and process things. It takes time. Trust me, all this takes time. It takes time for you to start reading these documents, to go on this place, to read that book, to do this. But since that's my passion, I do it. What I do is then I pass it on. And I tell you, you don't have to believe me. You don't take my word for it. But if I say something, please just keep it in the back of your mind and don't throw it out. I know it's hard to wrap your head around certain subjects. And people create shells. It's like a cocoon to protect you, like an eggshell. And what they do is they throw a lot of information out. But a lot of it is not their fault. It's because we've been a long time ago into this system program, Project Monarch. If you look at Project Monarch from the CIA, which supposedly was canceled in the late 70s, 1978, in reality, it never got canceled. The Project Monarch, if you look into it, is to deceive the people, from tell a vision. When you tell a vision and you visualize it by watching television, You start believing these narratives because that's what you're receiving. You're an antenna. You receive that information, and whether you want it or not, it affects you some way or another. It's just like you coming in and meeting 10 people. Let's keep it short. Meeting 5 new people, and one of them takes a keen to you and starts telling you that this other one out of the 5 is so on and so on and so on. And it tells you negative things about that person. Now, whether you want it or not, that's going to affect you. Because now when it's time for you to talk to that person, even if you're biased, you're still going to be looking at this person, sizing them up, and you were told, you're going to act upon it in a way where you're suspicious of that person. And if you don't see that, and if you don't understand that, where is the progressive? We're moving back in time because we used to be a lot smarter because we were not controlled when it comes to the programming, when it comes to the water we drink, which has fluoride. Anybody that knows about that, look into that. The food that we eat, the processed food that we eat, a lot of it has been genetically altered in the fields, sprayed with things that it's not just for pesticide and the bugs, etc. I dealt with that my whole life. I dealt with food and processing and all of that, and I was naive to many things as I went down the rabbit hole. But as you start understanding, open up your mind. I don't want to make this too long, but there's a narrative right now. There's a war going on right now, and it's an invisible war. It's a war of the mind. So all those people acting up on it, whether you're white, Spanish, Black, Asian, it don't matter. You're falling into the narrative. This is what they want. They want riots because it's going to affect us and in a way that you don't see right now. A lot of times you don't see it, but it's been planned. And remember, the way that these people operate in the deep state, if you heard about the deep state, the swamp, the cabal, they go by many different names depending on who you're talking to, but it's all the same people. And what they do is problem, solution. So they create a problem. Let's say there's something you don't want to happen or you don't agree on, because you lose certain rights in many ways. You know, as we go on, we lose more rights. We have less rights now than we had a year ago. And a year ago, we had more rights than we had 5 years ago. But people don't see that. So moving on, if there's something you don't want to happen, they create a problem for it. And therefore, the solution will be what they wanted from the beginning, taking away your rights, doing certain things that they feel is right for them, but not right for us. We, the people, should be in control. And they fear us. They fear our mass awakening. They fear that we're coming out of that hypnosis that been trying to put us, because we have been working hard to educate ourselves. Remember, we're living in a time where we're flooded with information, with the internet, the cloud, but we're drowning in ignorance because we don't decide to take up on it. And when you read that, remember, there's a lot of misinformation, but you can find the real information if you really wanted to, bro. If you want to, you take your time. I'm not saying for you to just spend massive hours doing this, but it is your responsibility. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is not just solely for you to keep, it's for you to pass on. So here, this is what I'm doing. There's civil war going on right now. This is what they want. It's not about we the people. It's about the people in power. There's a lot of bad cops, there's a lot of good cops. There's a lot of bad politicians, there's good politicians. But we need to divert through these and find out what's going on in order for us to be able to make the correct decisions. Because at one time, we did have a constitution that standed for we the people. And so therefore, we the people need to stand up. It's time to stand up, man. Stand up. Lace up your boots. What are you going to tell your grandkids? We are history. And when I say we're history, 50 years from now, they're going to be talking about us and how we, I don't know what word to use, but stupidly let our rights be taken. That says it all, man. Think about that. It's powerful. God bless you.